loving God has taught me how to keep the same energy. You know, I remember and find it still logically so natural to be upset when something or someone isn't doing right. But it's like I feel like I'm finally coming out of the fog of some really bad times, and I'm looking back now with fondness at the gratitude that I still exemplified even when in that pit. Like, I remember the years of being depressed, and I praised God when it was good, but when it was bad, it was like, F you, like I really went off on the Lord. And it's funny because I was never one of those kids to scream, I hate you, mom and dad. That was never me. Like, literally never. Like, if I did feel that way at any point, it was written in my journal or cut into my skin. Oop, trigger warning. But, I guess, yeah, like, I don't know. I never put such audacity against my parents. I always stuck to the honor them, but I did that with the Lord. And just the older I got and the wiser I've become, the more reconciliatory I've grown with a lot of my own demons, and forgiving and unlearning. I found more gratitude even in the bad situations. If at the very least letting the hope and peace and comfort of it won't last forever, because it doesn't always last forever, come to me. And it's funny because at a time it really did last forever in its own way, because even the good times were stunted with this veil of darkness. But it's like, even then I still noted I could have tried a little bit harder to be in my peace about it. And I mean, this is not to come at me or really anyone depressed, because that's the point of depression. That's why it's a sickness. That's why it's an illness. You're not going to be lucid in those moments, or rather lucid in the more wise mind way, because that way of thinking is actually completely valid, but I think it's almost like logic spotlighted, which to me is like cynicism casted. I don't see it more emotional minded to look on the bright side. I see it really just more balanced. Like, I almost see the scale being emotion, not wisdom, but the scale being emotion, and logic being, one side of the scale and wisdom being the other. Because it's really something that you notice when you can tap in. You can't always make the choice if you don't have the choice to make. But it's when you realize that you always have the choice, that's when you can finally make it. So that doesn't go over anyone's head, including my own. You don't know what you got if you don't know you don't got it. Right? But when you finally realize, and just some glimpse of who you are, that you maybe perhaps do have it after all, is where you can start to decide how to utilize that. Because sometimes a placebo effect is not having it, that's the power, it's believing you do. Yo, Zola Okovi be having me thinking, bro.